Go up the ladder, go down the chute, into this good-looking gack. Once you get over here, it says, I feel flushed.
Welcome to Ms. Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 Nickelodeon scandals. Number 10. The lost film Too Scary for Kids, Crybaby Lane. This TV movie centered on conjoined twins, one good, the other evil, who were locked up, grew ill, and died. Their father then sawed them in half before burying them separately. After Melissa Joan Hart hosted its initial premiere, the film vanished from the airwaves, many assuming it to be lost. Some theorized that parents found the movie too dark, while others wondered if it really existed at all. Not forgotten entirely though, as Nickelodeon dug up Crybaby Lane in 2011, rerunning it several times since. Number 9. A scrapped series, Christmas in Tattertown. Doug, Rugrats, and Ren and Stimpy initiated the golden age of Nicktoons. However, another animated series could have predated them. Bakshi was sent to produce an animated series for Nickelodeon loosely inspired by his comic strip Junktown. Airing in 1988, Christmas in Tattertown served as a pilot for a 39-episode series order. Around this time, Bakshi found himself in hot water for a Mighty Mouse episode where the titular character inhales a crushed flower, unintentionally calling illegal substances to mind. Nick began to lose interest in the Tattertown series, which Bakshi acknowledged, quote, just didn't work anyway. Number 8. The Unproduced Finale, The Angry Beavers. A lot of Nicktoons concluded their initial runs without a proper series finale. With The Angry Beavers, though, there was an attempt to bring a sense of finality to the misadventures of Daggett and Norbert. The Beavers would receive word that they're being cancelled, culminating with them going to cartoon heaven and an April Fool's gag. In addition to poking fun at the series ending, the finale would have openly criticized the network and censors for constantly cracking down on the creators. Bye Bye Beavers was never completed or aired, but storyboards and audio have left us with an idea of what could have been.
It's like immortality without having to show up every day.
Exactly.
Number 7. Things get super sloppy. Double Dare. According to Double Dare host Mark Summers, a woman who took a pie to the face in Philadelphia sued, claiming she couldn't have sex anymore. Summers says she got, quote, $25,000 to go away. On Double Dare, a kid lied on his medical form, neglecting to mention he had bones like glass, having broken 17 of them. Doing an obstacle course, a bone ended up going through the arm. Another time, Summers thought a kid snapped his neck on the sewer chute obstacle. His father was a lawyer, who insisted that they get the large screen TV prize. Number 6. The Expunged Episodes, SpongeBob SquarePants. SpongeBob has ignited a surprising number of scandals, including discussions regarding the character's sexuality. Fans were caught off guard again in March 2021 when Paramount Plus launched. A classic episode was noticeably missing from the SpongeBob library. A rep revealed that Season 3's midlife crustacean was taken out of circulation in 2018 due to story elements deemed inappropriate. While the rep didn't reveal which elements caused a fuss, it was most likely a scene involving a panty raid. Nickelodeon also held off on releasing Quarantined Crab, a quarantine-themed episode that was originally set to air around the same time COVID hit. Number 5. Angelique Bates' experiences weren't all that pleasant. All that. Angelique Bates became an inspiration to aspiring female Black comedians, being the first in the show's history. Sadly, she was also the first cast member to leave All That. Viewers wouldn't understand why until years later when Bates revealed that her mother had been physically and mentally tormenting her during the show's run. The producers were apparently well aware of this, as Bates claims it took place right in front of them.
Sometimes they could even hear me yelling.
The adults tasked with protecting the young performer urged her not to speak to Child Protective Services. Bates stayed quiet about her ordeal for almost 2 decades before opening up to the public about it. Number 4. You can't make fun of adoption. You can't do that on television. While you can slime people on television, poking fun at adopted children proved too controversial for Nickelodeon. In one episode, a senator calls an orphanage, saying that he wants to return his adopted child now that he's completed all the chores. In addition to making light of child labor, the episode sends a pretty mean-spirited message to the actual adopted children watching at home. Nick pulled the episode from US airing soon enough, while co-creator Jeffrey Darby admitted years later that it, quote, went too far. Number 3. Jamie Lynn Spears' pregnancy, Zoey 101. In a 2007 interview, the then 16-year-old sitcom star made a startling announcement. She was 12 weeks pregnant, and her boyfriend of 2 years, Casey Aldridge, was the father. Given Spears' status as a teen idol, not all parents were happy to hear this. Nick ultimately released the season to record ratings, although this was also the show's last. While many assumed that the series was canceled because of the scandal, Spears says that her contract was already set to expire and filming wrapped about 6 months before learning of her pregnancy. Number 2. Not So Happy Happy Joy Joy, The Ren and Stimpy Show. Ren and Stimpy was an immediate success for Nickelodeon, but creator John Kricfalusi was also a source of constant confrontation. From the show's suggestive content to missed deadlines to the toxic work environment, the writing was on the wall for Kricfalusi. The pulled episode Man's Best Friend was seen as a breaking point, with Kricfalusi leaving his creation. Production shifted from Spumco to Games Animation, with Bob Camp now leading the charge. Although Kricfalusi maintained a following in the animation world, he fell from grace in 2018 when former Spumco artists Robin Bird and Katie Rice accused him of sexual harassment and grooming when they were underage. Number 1. Quote, I'm glad my mom died, iCarly. Dan Schneider created several hit shows for Nickelodeon, including iCarly. However, his relationship with the network ended in 2018 amid allegations involving temper issues and feet. In 2022, iCarly star Jennette McCurdy chronicled her troubling history with her abusive mother. She also discussed the creator, i.e. Schneider, accusing him of pressuring her to drink as a minor, giving her a non-consensual massage, and more. McCurdy reprised her role on Salmon Cat, where she developed a rivalry with Ariana Grande, claiming her co-star was allowed to pursue other projects while she wasn't. When Salmon Cat was abruptly canceled amid a risque photo scandal, McCurdy claims Nickelodeon offered her hush money to stay silent about Schneider's behavior. She turned it down and later told her story in a book.